My favorite day in real estate is the night sellers sit down with a glass of wine and watch buyers compete for their house in real time. And honestly, most sellers have no idea how strategic and intense that evening actually becomes behind the scenes. The kind of house that ends up in a multiple offer situation today usually has a few things going for it right from the beginning. It's clean, it's well maintained, it's properly staged, it's in a neighborhood buyers already want to be in, and most importantly, it's priced correctly, or what I like to call inspirationally priced. That doesn't mean giving the house away. It just means pricing it just slightly below where buyers expect it to land so that the market gets emotionally pulled toward it instead of cautiously circling around it, okay? That part matters enormously right now in the Atlanta market because buyers in today's market here in Atlanta are very, very cautious. Interest rates are higher than they were a few years ago, affordability is tighter, and people are analyzing every dollar much more carefully. If a house feels overpriced, even a little bit, buyers hesitate. They won't even come and see it. And hesitation kills momentum. When a property feels clean, dialed in, move-in ready, and correctly positioned from day one, buyers respond fast. Showings increase, open houses get busy, agents start calling each other within hours of the property going on the market. Buyers begin watching what other buyers are doing in that time as well, and that's when things get interesting. One of the biggest tools I use during this evaluation is what I call my offer evaluation spreadsheet. Honestly, it's probably one of the most important things I bring to the table for sellers during a competitive listing, because once 5, 7, 10 offers start flying in, it becomes pretty difficult for sellers to compare everything clearly just reading a bunch of emails and PDFs, all right? So I break every offer down side by side in a spreadsheet. Price, obviously, is the first thing, but financing strength, appraisal terms, due diligence periods, earnest money, closing dates, all these things matter. Occupancy needs, concessions, special stipulations, lender quality, right? Who's got the best lender? And how likely I actually think the deal is gonna survive all the way to closing. And then we go even deeper, okay? I actually even calculate the estimated seller proceeds after commissions, closing costs, transaction coordination even, concessions, and your property taxes. I even prorate those on the spreadsheet. I put in your mortgage payoff, and that's why I ask you how much you have left on your mortgage at the very beginning. It's not that I'm being nosy, I actually want to help you calculate what kind of money you're looking at the very end. And then I put in everything that's likely to affect the final number at the closing table. Because a higher offer does not always mean more money in your pocket. We gotta do the calculations because it's really this number at the bottom that matters most. That might surprise people sometimes. Comes my favorite part. Usually Monday evening after a packed weekend of showings and an open house, this is when we call for highest and best offers. I tell my sellers to sit back, pour a glass of wine, open up the spreadsheet, and just watch everything unfold in real time while I work the phones and work the magic. Those conversations with buyer agents that I have can get very direct, even with the seller's permission. Sometimes it gets down to this. With the seller's permission, I'll share a redacted version of the spreadsheet so that the agents can understand the level of competition without exposing confidential information. Then I start making calls. I may have sent the second agent in line the spreadsheet without all the names and without all the private information, and then I'll call him up and I'll say, hey, my seller has authorized me to explain to you what they feel are the material differences between your offer and the current strongest offer. Your buyer has X, Y, and Z. The leading offer has A, B, and C. Can your buyer meet or beat those terms? And the agent may say, okay, thank you for telling me this, but what is this, a counter offer? And I say, no, it's not a counter offer. It looks like you've submitted your buyer's highest and best, and I just want to see if they can get their big toe over the line just a little bit more. If not, it's fine, I'll call this your highest and best, but if you can, let me know. And he'll say, well, how long do I have? 20 minutes. And then the clock starts. Phones ring. I call the agents. They call their lenders. Buyers call their parents. Can I go a little bit higher? Escalation clauses change. Closing dates might move around. But what'll happen is the seller will sit back there with their wine. They may pour another glass, and they'll just watch the spreadsheet start changing and moving around, and offers kind of moving back and forth in first, second, third, fourth, in whatever place, right? So sometimes an offer jumps dramatically in the final 30 minutes because buyers suddenly realize how badly they want the house. Meanwhile, my sellers are sitting there just watching the spreadsheet, like I said, update in real time as the numbers and terms evolve across the board. And eventually, one offer will rise to the top. Then we pivot immediately after securing that primary contract into getting a backup contract, number one. And then we might go for number two and number three. Because in a competitive market, smart sellers understand the value of having strong backups already signed if something in the primary contract falls apart. Nights like that are one of the reasons I still love this business after all these years. It's strategy, it's psychology, it's negotiation and timing, and real human emotion colliding all at once. Some agents say they hate that. It's the worst. We hate doing multiple offers. That's what I live for. I really get excited about it because I know I'm doing the absolute best job for my sellers, finding them the best buyer who will create the least amount of hassle and who really loves the house, right? That's how you find the one, is right there, doing a system like that. And when it's handled correctly, sellers walk away feeling informed instead of overwhelmed, because they can actually see the decision clearly in front of them instead of guessing through it. If you're thinking about selling in Metro Atlanta and you want to understand how to position your home for this kind of response from the market, call or text me directly at 404-906-5857. Or go to robsmith.com, click sell, answer a few questions there, and my team and I will help you build a strategy around pricing, timing, preparation, and negotiation before your house ever hits the market. Because the best offer night starts long before the first offer arrives.